Questions and comments? The Honourable Member Courtenay-Alberni.
Speaker, I want to thank my
there might be enough time.
Minister of Fisheries and Oceans for his speech, and certainly New Democrats will be supporting the passage of this bill. It's an important piece of legislation. There's a piece of the legislation that I'd like to also thank him on, and certainly thank my good colleague and friend from Port Moody, Coquitlam, his bill on shark finning and ending the import and export of shark finning. It's very important. It's nice to see that he's been able to roll that into this piece of legislation, something that we've heard from Canadians from coast to coast to coast wanting to see an end of that. Madam Speaker, one thing that concerns me is there's not any provisions here around aquaculture, and some concerns that he's heard from me recently, and I want to thank him for taking steps first on committing to testing for PRV for fish that are in salmon farms that have disease, but we haven't got answers on what's going to happen if those fish do test positive, and if he's made a commitment that those fish won't be transferred to open net fish farms should they show up with a positive result, because he knows how important that is to coastal communities, and they're calling for that to stop. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much for the comments and the question, and I do want to acknowledge the member from Port Moody, Coquitlam, and the member from Saanich Gulf Islands, who were the original sponsors of both 203 and 238, which have now been incorporated into Bill C-68. With respect to the question on aquaculture, we brought forward last week framework documents to be able to develop and consult on how we actually assess risk on a go-forward basis. We concurrently implemented an additional step in the precautionary approach with respect to testing, both for strains of PRV and for specific illnesses that may exist within the net pens. And the results of those will feed directly into the risk management framework that we have developed over the course of the last number of months. As I say, we are inviting comment over the coming couple of months on the risk management framework so that we ensure that we get this right in terms of how we're actually moving through a scientific process to make exactly those determinations.